Hello and welcome to the W Mason Coaches Report. I'm Rachel, joined as always by head women's soccer coach Simon Riddiough. Simon, what can we say? Another impressive week for the Pride, another dominant week, 2-0 with wins over James Madison and Delaware, especially a real important rivalry win on Thursday. Talk about what you saw from your team this week and what led you to another successful week.
Yeah, I think we're ticking along now. James Madison was a pretty good performance. I thought for 60 minutes we controlled the destiny of the game, and I thought at certain times it should have been more goals. But credit to James Madison, they came back and they put us under quite a lot of pressure that last 30 minutes. The wind was in their favour the last 30, and they started creating chances from what they're very good at, is set pieces and long throws. So we battled. We didn't break, which is always a positive. If you're going to win championships, you need to deal with some adversity, and that's what we did on Thursday.
And you had goals scored by Anya Suttner, Sabrina Bryan, and Lucy Porter, and Lucy's goal, dominant, highlight reel goal. And also a couple assists by Jordan Littleboy during that game. How have you seen Jordan step up lately?
Jordan's she's not an unsung hero, all because we know how good she is and we know how important she is to our offense, but she doesn't get the recognition because of statistics. We are a statistic-laden profession in America, and because she doesn't get as many assists or as goals as the other 4 or 5 players in front of her, she kind of gets overlooked a little bit. But she's been a tremendous player for us this year. She got herself fit. It started with the spring. She probably lost about 10 pounds. I hope she doesn't mind me saying that. But she looks fit. She looks like a real Division 1 top caliber type player now, and I think that's helped her tremendously. And now she's seeing the fruits of her labour.
Great. And moving on to Sunday's match, a big 3-2 win over Delaware. Again, goals scored by Sabrina Bryan, Lucy Shepard, and Mary Taylor with the overtime game winner. She's been very clutch during overtime this season, her second overtime game winner of the season. Do you look for her specifically in overtime, or does she just kind of get lucky?
It's not luck, it's persistence. When you work as hard as Mary does and chase up silly balls to keep it in play, or do the little things, you're going to finally get those opportunities, and it just fell for her perfectly. Again, Delaware came and nullified a lot of our offensive attack, which was interesting to me, and credit to their coaching staff and their team. They worked their socks off and physically imposed themselves on Austria, which has been rare in this last month. But credit to our girls, we battled, we grinded out the win, and at 2-1 down, I wasn't sure whether we could find it in ourselves, but they did. And Bean found a bit of space on the right hand side, and Shep's coolly finished to make it 2-2. And then in the end play was a combination between Miri and Lucy, and then a little bit of mismatch in the middle of the box, and Miri was there to pounce on it, and a fantastic finish. And credit where credit's due, those front 4 are special players, and all 4 of them this week carried us a little bit, so I'm pretty happy with it.
And you kind of stole the words right out of my mouth. The first time that your team pulled out a come-from-behind win of the season, this season, did you expect this out of them since they were kind of put in a more unfamiliar situation, or were you relying on the resilience of your team?
Yeah, you never know. You always hope that you experience every aspect of the game during the season, and we've been fortunate not to experience that situation. But if you're going to win a championship, you're going to expect some adversity. We're going to see adversity in the next 3 games. We're going to see adversity in the championships if we make it. But being there and doing it is another positive for us. Now we can move forward. We know we can come back from a goal down or a late goal down, and we know we've got the firepower to scare everybody in our conference, and hopefully that continues.
And you're hoping UNCW is a little scared for Sunday's match, final home game of the regular season here at Hofstra. Very tough UNCW team and a spectacular goalie, as we've seen throughout the year. What will the Pride have to do to get past the Seahawks?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Wilmington's been fantastic. And I thought last year they were a very good team. I thought because of the hurricane situation, I think it kind of derailed their season. They were flying for the first 9 games, and then they got removed from their home field and had to play some away games when in reality they should have been home. So I think last year they were good. This year obviously they're more settled. And you know, like you said, they've got a fantastic goalkeeper, played in the World Cup this past summer, and they've got some really attacking pieces, which it's going to be a really interesting game from both perspectives, because Chris has done a great job organising them, and he's one of my main scout people. I usually talk to him about who they've played, so I'm sure he'll come up with a game plan to nullify us, and I'm sure he's watched 1,000 games about Hofstra, and we'll be watching a lot about Wilmington. And it's going to be a big battle. I think if we win that, it kind of separates us from the rest of the league. But if Wilmington win it, then we're neck to neck with them, and it's not where you want to be, to be honest.
And you're 6-0 at home this year, so your team has to be looking forward to another home game. Speak of the comfort that your team plays with at the Hofstra Soccer Stadium.
Yeah, we've traditionally done well at home. It's a comfortable environment for us. We get a good crowd. The pep band are there cheering us on, which gives us a little bit extra impetus. The energy of being home, the girls are comfortable, and when you're comfortable, confidence rises, and our confidence at home is very high at the moment. Obviously Sunday will be an emotional day. We've got a fantastic senior class graduating, and we'll just have to ride the emotions of that day out, and hopefully give the programme another win.
And finally, headed into this last chapter, your team has been jumped into the top 25 of the RPI. It's easy to keep this in mind through the back half of the season, but what does this mean, going into these really important games?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of rankings and so forth. The RPI is an equation, and some years you get it right, some years you don't. This year, we're a top 25 team in the RPI, which the NCAA look very closely at when they're choosing at large bids. And I think this team deserves where they are. I think they've worked their socks off, and I think they've done everything that the coaching staff have asked of them. And when you do that, you get the fruits of it. And we're experiencing that. We're a top 25 team in the RPI, which, if you look at the teams around us, they're all Power 5 schools, and it's a lot of pride for us to be in that position, and we're excited.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, another exciting weekend ahead. Definitely can't wait to see what the Pride can do. And as I mentioned, the Pride is back in action this Sunday against UNCW at 1 p.m. Coach, best of luck. We're all rooting for you, and thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, Reg.